Now, please join me in welcoming the founder and CEO of SmartThings, Alex Hawkinson.
Thanks. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you from me for joining us as well. I'm so excited to be here. So my name is Alex Hawkinson. I'm the founder of SmartThings. SmartThings began just a few years ago. It's been a crazy journey already, but we began with a simple vision, to make the home smarter and more intelligent. And during just the past few years, we've been very lucky to become the leading open platform for the smart home. But something huge happened for us this year. Earlier in the year, in August, we joined forces with Samsung. And we did that because we saw a company that really shares our belief in the endless possibilities of an open platform. And in what happens when we collaborate with a community of developers to make people's lives better in fundamental ways. So in short, we joined with Samsung because they shared our complete belief in you. So this is why we're so excited about this week. It's the beginning of the unveiling of what we're doing together. But we know that together we can dream up applications that will forever change the way we connect with the things in our day-to-day lives and make the world a smarter place. So it's really a big opportunity together. So ultimately, the vision goes beyond the home. We envision a world in which everything is connected, and through that connection, the world becomes programmable. And ironically enough, so the creation story of the company really began with some destruction on my side. So a few years ago, the pipes in my home froze and burst while we were away. And if we'd only known, my wife and I, about it, we could have prevented tens of thousands of dollars in damage. Instead, we were completely unaware as the house flooded. And ignorance was not bliss in this case. It was a terrible outcome. So the idea of this programmable world was born from a simple aspiration for making those everyday things smarter. And we started with sensors and light switches and thermostats and door locks of things that are already in our homes. And we began by giving consumers, like the problem I'd had, very basic peace of mind where it matters most. But we found through the open platform that with you, the community of developers, the possibilities are so much more endless, in savings, convenience, and in so many spaces beyond. So let me start with a little bit of detail about how SmartThings actually works as a platform. So the platform's got 5 big components, which work all together to create a seamless experience for the consumers and for you as developers. So first, there's a hub, the SmartThings hub. It's basically a bridge that makes it simple to connect and control the local devices in your home that don't have their own internet connection. The second layer connects local devices through the standards that probably a lot of you are already familiar with. Of course, things like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but also things like Zigbee, Z-Wave, and other things. The third and most central layer of the platform is the SmartThings Cloud, and it has 3 main parts. It's got a data stream for all these connected things, device handlers, and smart apps. With it, you can do powerful things like creating a single app that controls any type of lock that connects on any relevant standard. So the fourth layer is cloud-to-cloud connections. A lot of devices are being built that have their own internet connection. It lets you tap into things like the Nest thermostat, Jawbone, wearables, but also into data and services like weather or IFT or other things like that. So in addition to letting you control those things on local networks, because SmartThings is connectivity agnostic, there's already hundreds of certified local devices that work with the platform. The final layer, and I'll spend a little more time on it, is our mobile app, and that's where it all comes together for a consumer. And here's how we give people access in the palm of their hand to their full control of their homes. So the app also makes it possible for you to build single experiences that will then work across all of these different platforms, whether the consumer is using Android, iOS, Windows Phone, you'll see in a second, wearables, TVs, and other form factors. So that's a little bit about the platform. A core part of the vision is making SmartThings really easy for everyday consumers. And the mobile app is really a big part of making that happen. So it's gone a long way towards enabling that vision. So the first component of the mobile app is Smart Setup. It's like an app store for the smart home. So it's where the consumer can go and they can discover all of the connected things you've integrated, all the apps that have been built, and get them all up and running. The next is the dashboard, and that's where it gives you one place to control everything in the home, whether it's garage doors or dishwashers or lights or anything else. And finally, there's Hello Home. And this is the place where you simply monitor what matters most. And you hear these notifications from your home, and you can actually say things back to it, like goodbye, and have it take a series of actions, like locking up behind you and shutting down the thermostat and so on. And all this is put in the palm of the hand and makes it pretty simple for consumers. But what really sets us apart for everyone in this room specifically is the open platform that we've built. So we're excited to give you access that you need to, the ideas don't come from us. It's the possibilities to go from concept all the way to a live application in minutes. So as part of that, the developer tools, we've created a community site. This is where you can learn all about SmartThings and look at the docs and trade ideas with other like-minded developers. Then we've also got the biggest component is our integrated development environment. And this is, or IDE. This is a place where you can go and learn and build fully functional device handlers, integrating new devices, create smart apps, and then use them immediately live in your own smart home, even without publishing to anyone else. And then if you want to share your innovations with others, you can submit them for testing and approval. And once they're approved, they instantly go live for the entire consumer base. And it makes it really simple and easy. And that's the way we think it should be. So again, all of this stuff, everything you'll see in the Smart Home downstairs is available right here and right now. And you can learn about it in the SmartThings workshops that we've been doing yesterday, and there's some sessions tomorrow as well. So a little bit about engagement, like what's happening in the connected home. We are just getting started, but it's humbling to think of how far we've come in just a few years. So I wanted to share a few metrics with you. The average consumer gets up and running in about 15 minutes after getting started. And during his or her first 30 days with the platform, with SmartThings, they will double the number of connected devices that they have in their home that are connected to the platform. They'll also, after 1 month, the average consumer has started a conversation with their home, and they're getting 15 push notifications per day, which is a staggering number for me. But it shows how much this connection to the home really matters. And finally, outside of the consumers, we're really even more excited in my personal feel about the engagement with the developer community, because this is where all the innovation happens. So already, developers from around the world have created thousands of connected smart apps, more than 10,000 of those, thousands of connected device handlers that are helping people innovate and keep constant connections with their homes. But we're just getting started. So we've got a lot of momentum building in the platform, and that's really thanks to the developer community. We're making products better for consumers every single day. And this morning, and at the conference, we have this pretty special announcement to make, and that's that going forward, in addition to the outside ecosystem, every connected appliance in the Samsung lineup will be integrated with the SmartThings platform. And so the innovation leader in Samsung that's brought us smartphones and TVs and speakers and ovens and so many other things in beyond is sort of taking a big, bold step into this future and making this all available. It's also, because it's completely integrated, you'll have free reign through the IDE to innovate and make these new products useful in ways that we could have never imagined. So this is all available, and you can see it downstairs. So no self-respecting tech CEO would come to a conference like this without sort of taking the risk of a live raw demo on stage. So yeah, there's a few things we've wanted to make sure you can get the sense that you can get your hands on this as quickly as possible, and we've created a home on the floor downstairs, and a lot of energy went into that, and I hope you'll go see it. But to give you an idea of the simplicity of what you can do in the smart home, we want to show you a little bit of stuff right here on stage, and this is all totally real, so hopefully the demo gods will favor us. I'm joined by my colleague Dan here. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Alex.
Thanks for coming on up. And so we've got just a few things up on stage. There's so much that you can do that we just have to keep it simple here. So this is our SmartSense open and close sensor. It's a battery-powered Zigbee sensor that connects wirelessly as a local device through the SmartThings hub, then up to our cloud and through to the mobile app. And you can do things like attach it to windows and doors and know if they're open or closed. But it also has things like a built-in temperature sensor and some other cool stuff. So you can see we've got the mobile app shown up on the screen. You can see that if I open this, it flows through and shows that my door is open in the mobile app. So it's amazing how quickly that flows, all the way through to our cloud, back down to the mobile as well. So one of the great things about the platform, though, is how easy it is to change the behavior of devices in your home based on installing these basic smart apps, which are created by developers just like you, and you can easily write it and publish them in a few taps. So Dan is selecting a light here that we have on stage, and you'll watch in the background. He's going to configure it with a basic smart app that will turn it on when I open the door. And I have other options, like you could do it only when you're at home or so on, so I'm going to set it up that way. So when I'm at home, I want the light to turn on. So he's set that up, and the smart app's installed, and now if I open the door, the light turns on. So the exact same behavior in this device created some other manifestation in the physical world that's pretty amazing. So you can see that all worked pretty seamlessly. So a moment ago, I also mentioned it did it only when I'm at home. This idea of modes in SmartThings, where it can be aware if you're awake or asleep or home or not. So another simple, powerful feature that can be leveraged by developers. So another developer actually built an app that does voice recognition on the Gear S, and where I can say to my home and make these changes in the mode. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to my home. Goodbye. So that'll take a second to recognize and go up through the cloud, and we'll see if the demo gods, in fact, favor us there. So there you go. So pretty amazing, and we didn't build a line of that code ourselves. It's all done with the open platform. So in addition to that, now let's imagine that in this mode, I'm away from home. What would happen if I open my door, somebody opens my door, and I'm not there? Let's see what happens. That still freaks me out every time. Pretty real, right? So as you heard, the Sonos Play 1 here is on stage as well, and a developer wrote an app to play a sound on it when you're away and an event happens. But that could have been a siren or any other sound that you can imagine. You can sort of build your own freak the burglar out type of apps. But all right, Dan, thanks for joining me on stage. So this is just the tip of the iceberg in every sense. So we've also set up this whole home downstairs. I want you to take a look at some of the more advanced scenarios that we'll be showing off if you go check that out.
Welcome to the Smart Home.
All right, so this goes so far beyond turning off a light switch or making a cup of coffee. This is the foundation, we think, for a revolution in the way that we live, and it all comes to life with you and this open collaboration that's so critical to our vision. So I encourage everybody to get started by going and taking a tour of the smart home that's downstairs in the conference center. Everything that I demonstrated on stage, everything that you'll see in the home there, all of that is already available as open source examples in the IDE, so you can take those and keep running with them in different ways. We'll also have our friends from Samsung and SmartThings team will be down there and available to walk you through the home and answer your questions, really dig in depth. After you leave SDC, you can attend. We are doing lots of tech sessions all over the world and hackathons, and we can teach you at those all about the platform and how to build device integrations and smart apps and more. We're also, on a personal note, I had to say that we're hiring like mad. So alex@smartthings.com, and don't hesitate to get in touch on that. So let me close with this. You know, when we started SmartThings, I had my own flooded home in a specific scenario in mind, and I pictured it being able to call me up and say, help, I'm underwater, literally. And, but there's other ways of thinking about smart technology. It's not one size fits all. And some of them are very serious, and some of them are definitely less serious. And so I wanted to share one last example that's from a real developer that was shared with me recently.
I just wanted to show you some of the things I've done with my SmartThings collection. Right now you're seeing my Scotch cabinet. I have it hooked up to a SmartThings motion sensor as well as a SmartThings outlet and a Sonos music player. I'm just going to show you what happens as I walk towards the Scotch cabinet.
There's nothing like easy developer tools and some alcohol-fueled inspiration in like 10 minutes. So, this illuminates in all figures, all meanings of the word, but the greater potential. And the really amazing thing about SmartThings and the open collaboration together is that everybody's been thinking about what the smart home means, what a smart hospital would mean, what a smart school would mean for years. And now we're at this point where it's really all possible. So the question to you is really not to prescribe this, but just to ask you, what's your definition of smart? I cannot wait to find out. So thank you very much, and we'll see you downstairs. Now, please welcome me in inviting the Vice President of Research, Pranav Mistry, to the stage.